Hello out there, subscribers and friends. This is Surviving 2 coming at you with another video. Hello out there in YouTube land. Well, I'm going to attempt to make some fire starters here. Now, I've seen this done once before, but I haven't done it myself. And one of my finds at my Goodwill was one of these old presses. So I'm going to take this press and I'm going to take this newspaper, which this is some really thin stuff here. This is part of the shotgun news, and I got a pan of water. Now what I'm going to do to start off with is I'm going to take a few pages out of it and sit there and cut them down into strips. It doesn't need to be perfect, doesn't need to be real fancy or anything. Just going to take it, and so this way I don't have to cut a bunch more than I have to. So I just cut it like this. And I don't care whether it's neat or whatever. And I'm going to stick it down this water and soak it up. Now, once I get all of this cut and put into there, I'm going to take that and put it on the fire and get it hot and let it sit there and just kind of cook down for a while and kind of dissolve that paper into mush. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eventually stir it up and just get it into a kind of like a mush. So once I get all this cut up and into there, I'll get back with you, and then I'll probably go ahead and let you see that, and then I'll go cook it and then bring it back and we'll go from there. Well, I've got a bunch of it cut up. I started putting some of it in, you know, just cutting it and dropping it off in there, and it being bunched together wasn't doing so swift. So I just cut a bunch of it up, laid it here on the table, and now what I'm going to do is just start stuffing it off into there. That way the pieces don't stick to one another quite so bad, and hopefully it will turn into mush better. So I just take all that, get it all in there. Like I say, try and keep it separated out a little bit. Just get it all down in there and get it wet. And that's about it, other than a few pieces I dropped on the floor. So now I'll just take this in and put it on some heat and get it to going. Now I don't think I'm going to boil it. I think I'm just going to simmer it, and we'll see what happens. I'll let you know when I get done. Alright, well, I took it and simmered it inside, and took a fork and just sit there and dug around in it like that and kept poking it and everything else, and you see it's pretty much turned in to mush now. I mean, it's pretty soggy. I don't know what the word would be, but anyway, you get the idea. Okay, what I'll do now is I'm going to let this concoction cool down a little bit so I can handle it. Then I'll take it and I'll take the press and I'll stick a little bit of it in there. Well, I can probably do a little now. Give you an idea of what's happening. I just won't handle it with my fingers. Just take and put it in there like that. Get it kind of filled up to the top. And I take it, press all the water out of it. Now then, I just got to get it out of there. Probably should have a knife for this part. But that will be it. Get that in frame. It's warm, but not too bad. But that's pretty good right there. Make another one real quick. And probably make them different sizes too. Make some thicker, some thin. I'm just trying to be sure I get it all in there. And I take it and squish it. And I just keep pressure on it for a while. Get a lot of that water out of it. Then I'll let them sit and dry. Let's see. Knife works better. Too bad it doesn't just kick it out. What's in there? Alright. There we go. I'm just taking, press the rest of it back together a little. There's another one. Alright. Y'all kind of get the idea. I'm going to sit here and have fun for a while. I got to thinking about something. My other half has got this. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with it. It's an old style hand juicer. Got a little part that slips in here, and then you do that and it juices it. So what I'm going to try and do, let's see if I can make some. These are pretty cool being small, but if I can make them bigger and then cut them up and then have them go in my pocket, all the better. Or in my pack or whatever. See if I can speed this process up a little bit, because it's hard sitting there doing just one little thing at a time. I mean, to make them nice, makes them nice and small. When they dry out, they should be pretty good. I'm going to give this a whirl. Alright, got a bunch in there. Now it's just going to sit here and squish it down and make a mess. So I'm going to hold it back over here. Oh yeah, getting a lot of water out of there. And it turned it into a small little cube in there. Now let's see if I can get it to come out. Oh yeah, now that is cool. I just take that out and it falls out. Now I just let that dry, and then I can cut that up and we'll all be good. Alright, This shouldn't take long now. Okay, now you saw that I pressed the paper into this shape and smaller shapes, and what I did after that is I went ahead and took a little grill and a tea light, and I got another little pan here that I use for whatever. I took it and lit the tea light, put that on there, and took some extra wax I got here and cut it up. And this stuff's real good because you can take it and it crumbles when you cut it. So I dumped it off in there, let it melt. Then what I did was I had these, and I had them sitting in one of these little cubicles here, and I would grab the I would grab the melted wax and pour it over the top of these, and it got to where I almost filled this up with wax. So I would sit there and move it around, take it out and throw it into another chamber, let it dry, take another one, dump it in, move it around, throw it into another chamber, so forth and so on until I got them all pretty much covered. And then what I did with the extra wax is I took one of the pressings I had and tore it apart, and this stuff just kind of tears apart a little bit, and I put it down into here and I shoved it down in there. Well, the first one had a whole bunch of wax in it, so this one's got a bunch of wax in it. Then I started putting the paper in on top of it, and this one I just put the paper in straight and poured the wax over the top of it. So we'll see how all this goes when I light it up and get it going. I tried lighting just these cubes alone, the little pressings. They don't burn for nothing. They're no good. Just the way they are. So I know people have taken and done wax, so we'll see how that works. Alright, more details later. Okay, let's do a test on the cubes and see how they work. Got this one here that was just packed up and dunked in wax. Let's see if I can pick some of this out and expose some of that paper. Now I'm going to go down pretty far into the center of it, so in case the wax got way down in there. Don't think it did, but never can tell. There, that's a pretty good amount. Pretty good amount exposed, so that one's going to be good to go. Now these two here, I'm just going to take and get them out of here. You can see how that one ended up melting through. Alright. Let's see what we get. Alright, got them out. Just going to take and tear these two apart. And what we'll do is set them down there. Okay, we're going to be starting at 3 o'clock on the dot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I might go ahead and speed this up because these are probably going to burn a while, but we'll see how they do. I don't know if you can see that or not. Hopefully you can see my watch face. It's been 5 minutes now, so these are still going strong. Well, it's been a little over 8 minutes, about 8 minutes 20 seconds, and for the most part all three of them are out. So the little one worked pretty good. I got more flame out of the other two, but the little one still worked pretty good there for a while, and it's smoldering like crazy, as you can see. I don't know if I can get it. I doubt I can get it to light back up, because it's mostly, looks like it's mostly ash. This one here, it burnt everything. I mean, it pretty much burned it all up. This one here, let's see how it did. Yeah, it got quite a bit of it too. So these two worked pretty good. It didn't seem to really matter whether I just packed a bunch of that paper into one of the cells and then poured the wax on top of it, or whether I had a cell full of wax and pushed the paper down into it. They both kind of seemed to do pretty good. This one did pretty good too, really. I mean, for what it is and how small it is, that's not bad. And you see in the video how I did them. So anyway, y'all take care. Later. I want to thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more in the future that I put out, just subscribe. Until then, later.